Welcome to Booked with Jess, a podcast where two readers named Jess yap about their current reads and favorite books. I'm Jess W.,
And I'm Jesse.
and welcome to our first episode.
Yay!
Today we're just going to introduce ourselves, talk about some books that we've been reading, how we met, all of that fun stuff. So let's talk about how we met. So we actually met through a mutual friend. She was hosting a... How do I say this?
Feyre's birthday.
Okay,
Winter
that's fair.
solstice.
She was hosting a party at her house for Feyre's birthday, winter solstice, and showing the Whimsy Gossip Chapter 54 film. If you haven't seen that, it's fantastic. It's on YouTube. You should go watch it. And we met at that party, and we've done, I don't know how many book things together since then. A lot.
Or I say I'm going to go and then I don't go.
That is accurate. So we've done a lot of Barnes & Noble release parties together. We went to the Crescent City 3 release party in Kansas City. We're the only cosplayers there. It was fun. It was a good time.
Emily Henry, we've done.
We've done 2 Emily Henrys.
Yep. The Onyx Storm we just did. That's probably our.
Yes.
No, Emily Henry. And then before the Onyx Storm was probably like the last one we've done.
And then we've done Lauren Roberts.
Yes. Yes. The Powerless and Fearless and all that.
Yeah, I think those are the main ones that we've done together.
Mm-hmm.
But on top of that, I have a book club that I run locally, and Jess sometimes goes to those activities. Very rarely. But she invites her friends and her friends show up, but she does not always show up. I think she's actually come like once.
Yeah. That sounds about right.
It's fine. Okay, a little about me. My name is Jess W. In real life, people usually call me Jessie, but online I go by Jess, which is the opposite of Jessie. Online she goes by Jessie. In real life she goes by Jess. It is what it is. I currently have a 9-to-5 at a title office. I also own 2 businesses. Booked with Jess is your one-stop reader shop. It started as One Stop Kindle Shop. Literally how we came up with our podcast name too, because that was the name of my business. I'm like, hey, let's just call this our podcast name too. And here we are. Literally use the same colors and marketing and everything. It's fine. I didn't have the mental capacity for another set of anything in my life. My business started out as Kindle only and has slowly morphed into general reader, focus on e-readers, but I learned at vendor events that I was missing out on a lot of sales because I didn't offer anything for people that don't like to read on e-readers. Are you looking for your Kindle right now?
Yes.
Hello, look, she has my beautiful Edward Cullen sparkly insert on. And a bunch of my stickers that I have designed. I literally don't have a single one of my Kindles near me right now.
I was like, I know I have it somewhere here.
I have like 4 Kindles and none of them are around me. It's fine. I am primarily a Kindle reader, but I have a book problem. As shown by the 5 bookshelves in my house. It's fine. I also have an author PA service called Chapter 1 PA. And I do a bunch of back office work for a couple authors, but my main thing that I do is alpha reads and content creation. That started out as helping a friend who wanted to publish a book and has slowly morphed into what it is, where I have quite a few daily clients. Then, as I mentioned, I also help co-host a book club. And yet I am still not as busy as Jess.
I took out a big chunk of my life lately.
You did.
So
Jess just graduated from grad school this week with a degree in
anthropology and archaeology. So very excited. I'm tapped out. I'm done. I don't want to do any more writing anything again, probably ever.
I mean, you do want to write a book.
I do want to write. Well, that doesn't count. That's not like historical. Let's translate Latin and hieroglyphs and talk about in depth of why the Suez Canal ended up collapsing the Egyptian economy. It's a whole thing. Anyways, so I guess a little bit about myself. My main 9-to-5 job is I work in distribution sales for food.
She's a corporate girly.
Yeah, corporate girly. But I do love my job though. There's moments of stress, but so I sell food basically, and then I also kind of on the side just do a little bit of photography and play with that. And then, like Jess said, I just finished my degree up literally a week ago, so I'm done with that. I don't have to worry about that anymore. So now I guess now I got to put a lot of time and focus into the podcast, which I'm really excited about. Yay! So I'm
Yay.
also a mom, and we've got a little farm out in Missouri. So we kind of do a little bit of that. I just dabble. I just keep myself busy. If I'm not busy, I don't, I just can't
You
handle it.
also own businesses.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I
Yeah.
also partly own a coffee shop. Side quests. That's just how I live my life is side quests.
And her kids are in competitive cheer, which, if you
Yeah.
know anything about competitive cheer, you know she
Yeah.
literally lives at the gym
Literally all the time. It's
or out of
crazy.
state.
Yeah, so there's like a lot of travel. So last week, like I didn't even go to my graduation because we were in Orlando. My son's team made it to Summit, so we were competing in Orlando. And then a week and a half before that, my daughter's team made it to Tampa, so we went to Tampa. Like my daughter's 8. What are we doing in Tampa? Like what is this? Is this real? Are we that good? I'm like, I don't know. I have nothing to like compare it to though. So,
Yeah.
but
Your
it's
son's
a
team,
lot.
it seems to be
Yeah, they're
it, though.
really, really good. They ended up losing by like 0.02. So it was kind of
Sad.
devastating. But yeah,
That's so sad.
everybody's like it's like one smile. So it was that was a hard blow for them. But also everybody who's returning next year, they're all like, we're gonna win it next year. We know what we need to do differently. So
Yeah.
they're, good spirits and stuff. And so
See, that's one of those things where you'd rather lose by a lot
yeah, literally.
than lose by.
Just a shred. Literally, so many people are like nitpicking themselves. They're like, oh, if I would have done this a little bit better, if I would have done that a little bit better. And it's like, it's a collective thing, it's collective. Everyone could have improved somewhere. It doesn't just weigh on one person. So it's
Crazy.
it is full time though. So yeah, tonight we have like our big banquet for it. And then we'll have like a day off and then we immediately go into tryouts for next year. So
It's fine. Your
it's
son's gonna be able to drive soon.
it's nonstop. Yeah. Well, also a really fun thing that I found is like every single time we travel, I get to go to all these like little indie bookstores. Like I ended up going to a couple of them in Tampa, and that was really fun. And then anytime I go up to Kansas City, I go to some too. So we'll do that. That's gonna be my new little for myself thing while I'm spending the whole week chasing my kids around.
I love it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
So what are
fun.
your current reads?
Just started Spotlight by Rebecca Genshak. I should have brought my Kindle out here. I don't know why I didn't. That was so stupid of me.
It's not as aesthetic as the real books.
It's not. So Rebecca Genshak is actually one of my favorite authors ever. She's an indie author. She actually just traditionally published her first book. It was a young adult book, Stealing for Keeps. It's soccer romance. It's super cute. But my favorite books from her are the Wildcat series, which is a hockey series.
That's a really cute book.
This is one of her special editions. I won it in a giveaway that she did. Gorgeous cover.
I love
There's
that.
5 books in this series. And then this is the Holland Brothers series, which
Yeah. I
yes.
like that one.
Have you?
Yes.
So the last book just came out. So the last book in this series just came out, and that's Spotlight. So this one is about Knox Holland. This is the first book in that series, but the oldest brother, his book is actually part of a different series. There's 5 brothers, and so there's 4 books in this set of the series, and then the 5th brother is like, she always does this with all of her series, where she introduces the next series with somebody in the previous series. I'm assuming, because I'm like literally 4 pages into Spotlight because I fell asleep last night reading. I'm assuming we're going to meet whoever the next book is about in Spotlight, and we haven't gotten there yet. However, this series, Wildcat, absolute favorite series of hers ever. She has 4 series out, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 series and a couple standalones. But this one is my favorite. It is so good. It is such a good hockey romance from somebody who has no idea anything about hockey. I like hockey romance. I have gone to one hockey game, and it was the Firefighter Police charity one that Springfield
Oh,
does every year. I went a
no,
couple years ago. I know, it means nothing.
no.
I need to go, Jess, we need to go to an actual
Yep.
hockey game. It's
I'm
fine.
totally down with that.
Okay, we're gonna do it. However, I have watched a lot of clips.
I watched the TikTok highlights.
I watched TikTok highlights, and I like how she does her hockey romances, and she actually does like hockey, which I appreciate. So that's my physical Kindle read, and then on audio I am listening to Empire Storms. My best friend, I finally convinced her to read Throne of Glass a couple months ago, and I'm reading it with her. I'm actually behind because she's currently on Tower of Dawn. So we are
But you've already read
going
that,
through that.
right?
Yeah.
Okay, I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. I've
No,
been
no, no,
sending you
no.
spoilers. I was like stressed.
No, I've read it I don't know how many times. I'm just on my like second read of the year for it. It's fine.
It's a that's a big commitment for a reread.
Well, here's the thing. I love Elizabeth Evans, and I've listened to her narrate because I her audios are phenomenal, and I've listened to her narrate so many that I can listen to Throne of Glass on 3 times speed and catch every single word out of her mouth.
No, I still can't get past 1.2.
It's so good.
I can't do it.
It's so good.
I lose it
I feel like
so fast.
I feel
You
like
guys,
nobody's gonna understand what this is, but I'm currently listening on 2.75.
0.75. That's so fast.
Okay, you have to tell me if you can hear this.
I watched Darrow, waiting, refusing to break his stare until he bowed, and if his head was all he offered. And then Lola, she heard.
No, like that's a foreign language. That's not real.
I
How do you
understand every word out
No.
of her mouth because it's Elizabeth Evans, and I've listened to Throne of Glass so many times. It's my comfort read. So
There's no way.
it is what it is.
I'm slow.
It's fine. It's the ADHD.
I think I need like the inflection in their voices though. I think I enjoy
Yeah.
that. So that's why I like to listen to it slower.
If it's the first time I'm reading a book, I usually go at 2 times speed.
It's still too fast.
It depends on if there's accents and who the narrator
Oh.
is.
Yeah.
So if it's somebody that I'm very familiar with, like Elizabeth Evans or Julia Whalen, I can listen to them a little bit faster.
Yeah. Why would you want to like speed up Teddy Hamilton though? Like talk slower. Let me enjoy every
See, I
second of you talking.
get distracted and I stop listening. The ADHD says no.
Yeah, that doesn't work for me. Doesn't work for
Anyway,
me.
what are you reading?
I am in Shield of Sparrows for my physical book. I have so many thoughts about that.
Do you?
Yes, I have so many thoughts. Okay, and then
Like negative?
No, I love it.
Okay.
I'm
Okay,
I'm
okay.
really enjoying. There's just a lot happening. Yeah, we might have to do an episode on that one. That one's so
Well,
far.
I'm down. I'm so down.
It's so good. And then Mile High is my Kindle read right now. So
Oh, you never read those before?
no, I've never read them. So that was it. I'm really having a lot of fun. That's the first one I'm reading though so far. I know what is there like 4 or 5 of them or something.
There's 5. The 5th one,
There's
the
5.
last one comes out next week.
Yeah. Okay. So and those are quick reads though too. So I'll
They're
be able
super
to kinda
fast. And those
go through
audios
that.
are good too.
Yeah,
If you switch to audio, they're good. I like her audios.
and listen in slow motion.
Listen, it is what it is.
It reminded me when we were coming back from Crescent City 3 release, and
My
we were
gosh.
driving back. We're driving back from Kansas City to Crescent City 3, and we're all waiting for it to hit Audible so we could listen to it. And it finally hits at
It's like 1 a.m.
1 a.m. We're coming back, and I put it on 1 time speed, and you're like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "I can't go any faster." And I ended up putting on like 1.2. You're like, "Oh my god, this is so slow."
I was dying.
Do you do like will you do it on 2 times speed if it's like multiple actors? I don't think I could
Yeah.
do that. The voice
The only-
changing.
I
I'd
don't do
really
it. I
struggle.
don't do it for graphic audios because the noises weird me out.
It's like the winnowing sound in Sarah J. Maas.
Freaking winnowing. I can't do it. I actually kind of hate graphic audios, but I will listen to it if it's one of my favorite books just to say that I've read it in every format, you know.
Well, what's your last 5-star read?
Shield of Sparrows.
When did you finish that? Like I don't
When did I finish it? Earlier this week, I think.
Okay, so it's not like it's, there's so many books that are going like are now being like traditionally published from indie.
Yeah.
And so I've read quite a few of them when they were indie, and I'm like, was Shield of Sparrows
No,
indie?
it was not
No?
indie.
Okay.
No, she has a million books out, and I just haven't had the chance to dive into those.
Mm.
But she is very much like a small town romance author. So this was her first dip into fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
And it since she was already published through Entangled, I think that was just like the route that she went was
Yeah.
Red Tower.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it I actually have an arc of this one.
Really?
I do.
Huh.
I meant to grab it to put on the shelf and I forgot.
You get a lot of really good arcs, so I feel
I
like.
do. If you're not part of the Entangled Facebook group, you have to be because that's how I get them.
Okay. I'll have to do that one.
So, yeah.
I think that one's definitely so far. I mean, I'm not even halfway through yet. I'm like on page like 170 or something. And it will probably be a 5-star read for me, for sure. I don't know. The way I rate books, I don't rate books like as hard as everybody else does. I'm like, did I enjoy
neither.
myself? I'm
Yeah.
like, that's what I always have to think about. Yes, there was probably things that were annoying with the plot or plot hole or this like main female character is stupid or whatever. But I enjoyed myself reading it. I would
That's
want
how I
someone
am.
else to enjoy themselves reading it. So like that's 5-star for me.
That's how I am. And if I like, and I feel like I'm harsher on romance books than I am fantasy books.
Yeah. Agreed.
What was your last 5-star read?
Probably King of Envy. I just did.
Mm.
I just got that one. That one was really good. I think out of her whole like Kings of Sen series, that one is probably my favorite. So, favorite romance books right now, I think for me are just, I mean, really anything by Elle Kennedy, all of her hockey stuff. It's just top tier. I enjoy myself every single time. And then I think, yeah, if I was going to recommend anybody going into romance, it'd probably just be with any of her series. Any of those. And then my favorite fantasy books, obviously, SJM. Duh. She's the queen. And then Quicksilver is one of my favorites. Fourth Wing, obviously the whole series. The Kindred Curse series. And then one that actually is about to get traditionally published, I'm really excited about, is Peaches and Honey duology.
You've talked about that a lot. I need to
I
read it.
love that book so much. It has like a history in it too. So like dabbles and all that. And then Starling House, which is not like full-blown fantasy. So it's not like we didn't have cell phones and we lived in the 1800s and there's king and queen. Like this is modern times, but there's fantasy in it. And it's probably one of my favorite books as well.
Isn't that one more like gothic?
Kind of.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm picturing the cover and it gives me gothic vibes.
Like they've got the birds on it. I
Yeah.
think there's more than one cover. I don't remember, but it's based in like Kentucky. Like how fantasy can you get in Kentucky? You know,
That's fair. That's fair.
yeah. That's what I'm like. When
Yeah.
people are like, "Give me the synopsis," I'm like, it's kind of hard to give a synopsis on that one.
Yeah.
Fantasy in Kentucky.
Yeah, I'm bad at giving synopsis in general though. So
Yeah.
like if you would say, "Oh, what was that book about?"
I don't know. Based on vibes, it was great.
Yeah, exactly. Like I have no idea. It was a hockey romance?
I already forgot
No
the
idea.
main 5 stars, but I forgot the main character's name. It's fine.
Will never remember a main character name if I've only read it one time. If I read it multiple times, I usually can, but could not tell you the main characters of Shield and Sparrow to save my life. Could not.
So far, it's the Guardian,
But yeah,
Xavier, and then now I'm like he keeps calling her my queen, so I'm like crap.
I know. I don't
Whatever.
remember her name.
Insert myself into her position. Her name is my name now. That's what I've decided.
That's a good idea.
Reader insert every time. Every time. The rest of them I don't remember.
Okay, so my favorite romances. I've already talked about Rebecca Genchak. I'm a huge Lauren Asher fan. I will read anything she puts out. You've read her books, I'm
I
pretty
know,
sure.
I'm just
the
trying to think
Dirty
of what
Air
it is.
series.
Yeah. Oh yes. I have it on my bookshelf.
Anything Sarah Adams is going to be an immediate yes for me. This is her latest one, Beg, Borrow, or Steal. This is the female main character is very type A, and she is me, and I am her. So,
Reader insert.
reader, insert. She is an immediate yes for me. She was one when I first started reading. I was very much a closed door only reader. And I still lean more towards there a lot of times. And my Bookstagram is built around sharing what chapters to skip if you want to be a closed door reader, but read mainstream media. But she has recently started having open door spice in her books. So the last 2 books that she's put out, she's had open door spice. But I like how she does it. We've talked about this. I liked how she does it because she will have it all in one chapter. So if you want to skip, you can just skip the entire chapter. And I think that that is so smart for authors to do. If you do it another way, it's fine. I get that it's hard if you just have a page here or there to do that. But if you, especially in romance books, fantasy books, I think it's harder to do that. But in romance books, I think it's super smart to do that. That way you can appeal to more readers. I like Emily Henry. She is probably the closest to lit fic that I will ever get.
Yeah, really?
I don't love lit fic. It's not my favorite. BK Borison, Lynn Painter. Those are the romance authors that I tend to lean towards if I'm reading romance, those vibes. For fantasy, obviously SJM. My favorite fantasy reads of last year were the Shepherd King duology.
Oh, yeah.
One Dark Window, Two
So
Twisted
good.
Crowns. So good. We're seeing Rachel Gillig next week. Fourth Wing, obviously. Duh. Anything Carissa Broadbent?
Oh,
Serpent
yeah.
in the Wings of Night. The
Another good
whole
one.
crowds in Nyaxia. Daughter of No Worlds was our book club pick last month for my in-person book club.
Everybody said they loved that book. I haven't read it
so
yet.
good. You
It's
need
on my
to.
it's on my list.
If you are wanting to read Daughters of No World, don't do audio. The audio is not good. I tried to Eleanor.
I love how your dog's name is Eleanor.
Her name's Ellie. When she's in trouble, it's Eleanor.
That's Kennedy's middle name is Eleanor.
Really?
Yeah.
That's funny. Oh, I don't know if it's because of the narrator that I don't like it, or if it's because in the first book there's a language barrier because she's learning the language, so the spoken language is very broken,
Yeah.
and I think that's hard to grasp in audio versus reading it physically. They are on KU, because you can not get the physical copies. You might be able to get books 1 and 3 on paperback on Amazon, but you cannot get book 2 anywhere physically right now. It's like non-existent because they're being traditionally published. So they're coming out later this year. Highly recommend. I'm reading book 2 after I finish the latest Rebecca Genshak. I'm jumping back into book 2. And then
So
the
how do you go from fantasy? Do you go fantasy to romance and then back to fantasy?
I usually try to have a fantasy on physical and a romance on audio, but sometimes the romances aren't available on audio. Like Rebecca Genshak's books usually come out on audio several months later.
Oh yeah.
And I don't want to wait that long.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want to read Spotlight now.
We don't have time for that.
Give me the fake dating right now. So
I have to,
it just
read fantasy and then I'm like, wow, that was a lot. Let me go read just a trashy romance palette cleanser. Where I don't have to think I don't have to worry about it. I don't have to think about a world or the gods and all this and the structure. I don't have to think about it. I do.
well,
So I
and
try to go
that's
back and
how yes, and I usually do that if I can. Sometimes, if I'm reading it for book club, I have to just push through. But I planned on jumping right into Children of the Gods, which is the second book for the Daughter of No Worlds books. I don't remember what the series is actually called. It's not called that. But I was trying to jump directly into that, but then I had a 5-week span where I had an event every single weekend for my business. And I was like, my mind cannot. I cannot. So I did rereads on audio and I did romance books on my Kindle because I'm like,
Yeah.
I just have to. So I binge some really horrible hockey romances. They were not good, but it's fine. Last fantasy book, and then I'm done because I have way more than just said, is Five Broken Blades. Have you read this one yet? It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Second book is out. Third book comes out in July. I think
Wow.
it's July. It's June or July. I'm pretty sure it's July. So, and it's a trilogy. So, third book is the last book. They all have these beautiful edges. Book 2 is yellow. Book 3 is going to be blue. And it's a different person on each one.
We love that.
Kaylee has the Waterstone
Ooh,
editions, I think. She has like 3 different editions.
yeah.
They're so pretty.
How do we go to Waterstones? Like, let's just book a flight.
Let's go. I am going to London with my church in
Oh, yeah.
July, and
You have to stop by Waterstones.
I'm hoping I can. I'm gonna try to see if I can. So, I need to. I'm mad because with the tariffs, I don't know if I'm gonna get my Waterstone books that I've pre-ordered because I pre-ordered the Crescent City 3 special edition.
Yeah.
It has, I'm not going to say the character name, but I'm going to say what it is on the front. It has a deer on the front.
Oh.
So you know I have to have it.
Yeah. We're
You
just
know
gonna
I
to
have to.
start buying flights instead of paying tariffs. It's fine.
I know. It's probably be cheaper.
I'm racking up
But-
my Delta points. Don't worry.
Okay. Love it. Perfect. I should work on that. So yeah, those are my favorite books. I could go on for forever, but eventually we need to talk about our next episodes. Obviously, I also love Spark of the Everflame. I convinced Jess to do that for our first book club episode
No, through the
because
You made me
I
go
would
through
not
all this mental
shut
turmoil.
up about it. It's just so good.
I literally stopped like reading another book because I was like, okay.
You stopped reading Daughter of No Worlds.
No, it wasn't Daughter of No Worlds. It was something else. Maybe it was Daughter of No Worlds.
It
Maybe that's what
was because you were gonna read it for book club, and you're like, I had to stop because I had to read Spark.
It's so good. It's so good.
It is so good. Because you were trying to do Daughter of No Worlds on audio, but you couldn't because you were physically reading Spark.
Oh yeah, I didn't.
You were
wanna listen-
struggling, yeah.
I don't think I wanted to listen to anything else though. That was the thing. It's like
Yeah.
it's. I think it always says it's a really good book when I don't want to like dual read or try read anything. You know, when I
Yeah.
only want to read one.
Just want to finish what you're on. I get that.
Yeah.
So those are our favorite books. Let us know if there's any that you think we should add to our TBR based off of those.
Or what we should
Or-
take off that list. Like, do you think that any of the books we said are our favorites should not be a favorite?
I don't like that. Don't change my opinion. Don't like that at all. Anyway, just a few of the mini books that we have read and that are on our TBR.
So we'll catch you in the next episode, which will be about the Kindred Curse series.
We're so excited.
I'm pumped.
We're going to do the first episode as just Spark of the Everflame, the first book. And we haven't decided if we're going to do one episode per book or just do 2 and 3 in the same episode. I feel like we're getting to the point where it's hard to not spoil things because we've both
Yes.
read all of the books. So we'll figure that out. The next episode will just be first book of Spark of the Everflame, and the episode will start with a spoiler-free section. So if you have not read the book yet, you can still see what we're currently reading and kind of get a vibe for the book. So we'll have the summary, Goodreads rating, a couple things in there to convince you to read the book. Then we will jump into our spoiler-filled section of the book.
Until next time,
Happy reading!
live peace and prosper.
Okay, ready.
Ready.
Ready. I feel weird now. Okay.
Ooh. I can't look at myself. That's when I get like really messed up is when I start looking at myself.
My gosh, this is going to be horrible to edit. It's fine. I'm going to do great. It'll be great. We're learning here.